Yo, 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 what's happening on the late night edition of Reasonable Wrestling? It is I, the completely obliterated high. I'm not even the most high today. I am obliterated high right now.
Yeah,
It
he's smacked.
it is
He is zooted.
the smack king right now. With my tag team partner CT Chitty Bang was happening
And
with you,
I
man.
am completely sober because I don't get any bud. So it's gonna be, just a hot tag run for me. But yes, this is the underground of professional wrestling tag teams. No, see, look at me now. It's contact time, even though we're not even in in location. This is the Underground of Fresh Wrestling Podcast. I'm here with my tag team partner, Chris Demosai. I am Chitty Bang. Check us out on all the medias of socialness. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram, Reasonable Wrestling Podcast. Twitter is RW Podcast 1. And check us out on Patreon. Yo, we got a new video up there. Check us out on our free tier. You can get a little sample of the Fall of Mankind. We put a lot of work into that. You guys go check it out. Some good content on the free version of our Patreon. And if you feel like supporting the pod a little bit, you might want to get a little gassed here. It's cool. You want to get a little bit. If you don't want to do that, you can do Reggie. You can do mid, and
Yeah,
support the pod still.
it's whatever you want to smoke, we got it for
Whatever
you.
you want to smoke, we got it.
Cause I know niggas don't got rapper weed price. You feel me? Like, I'm experiencing that right now. You got some dank in here, but that shit's a little pricey. Everybody can't afford the triple
Pricey.
chocolate chip. You know what I mean? Like,
Uh
I want the hippie crippler. We got it all. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, word up. Word up. But we just got done watching. Apparently, it was supposed to be Heritage Night for AEW Rampage, but I
bruh,
don't I don't know if that
bruh.
was Heritage Night to me because I think the only thing they did was Heritage Night was give Santana a mic, and then right after that they gave it right back to Chris Jericho. So that's all I saw, and maybe giving Sammy Guerrero some time on the mic. That's it. And then they put freaking FTR and Lucha gear. So I don't know, but if that's supposed to be Heritage Night. But hey, shout out to AEW. We just got done watching y'all on Saturday, and we're here to talk about it.
Listen, I'm not going to comment on anything about Heritage Night because I don't want to be considered the person that does whataboutism. So we're just going to move past it. Yeah,
Hey,
this
I
you
did I brand it Heritage Night? They said that, not me. So hey,
the niggas told homies to bring their flags, my nigga. Like, what are you
okay.
talking about, man? Like,
Nothing wrong with bringing their flags, but I mean, the Lucha Bros lost their titles. I mean, come on. I mean, it's just the AAA titles at that. It's shout out
nigga,
to our Hispanic brethren.
Mexico, my nigga. How the fuck did they get Mexican titles, nigga? Have they ever wrestled in Mexico?
FTR.
Yeah.
They did it by being in AEW. Hopefully, they do go to Mexico now because that'll be kind of dope. But FTR, man, they're building up quite the resume. I'll be honest.
They're
Uh,
consider- they're trying to be the Dudley Boys, right? Dudley Boys was the only tag team to do certain shit, like have the ECW title and the WCW title and the WWF title. Like they're the only tag team to do shit like that. So
then
the
we need to see now, right? We need to see them and the Good Brothers run it back, and they got to get them the Impact titles too.
man, that would be as as much as I was a fan of them, like the Good Brothers.
Not anymore.
I mean, the work ain't there, man. The work,
they
them niggas
fell
rush.
off. They fell off. They had like a good year after New Japan, and then just fell off the freaking map.
They
So
had they had two good matches with the Usos and like two good matches with the New Day, and them niggas was like, "Cool, I can buy a house now." And
yeah, they cut
that
their
was
contracts, and then, I don't blame Paul Heyman, man. I know AJ's still mad at him for letting them go, but I don't blame homie. I think they right now they're doing good for themselves though. They're getting a little shine on AEW every now and then. They're on Impact. But yeah, FTR just to get the titles at least.
you talking about the little shine that comes off the little back end of Kenny Omega spotlight. That little shine you talking about? Because They not wrestling. They not
They've
getting on.
had matches on it on Dynamite. They've done a couple of matches, and I know Machine had a match with John Moxley too. So, and that wasn't that bad, Carl Anderson. So, shout out to the Good Brothers, man. What I like them about is that they have good character. They just seem like some cool, fun dudes to just have a beer with and just shoot the shit. It's like they have a good time. But
Of course, tea leaves. Carl Anderson has too much of a good time.
I knew it was coming, man. Oh boy. But yeah, we just got done watching AEW. Where you want to start with the show? Because I know you
We can just
mad
start.
hella shit about cowboy shit.
We
You,
can start. We can start off honestly talking about the the latest thing we just watched. We just watched Dynamite. Man, if you don't close that goddamn door, these mosquitoes, man. Excuse me. We can start off with Dynamite. Dynamite was on Saturday instead of Wednesday, which is kind of threw off the schedule. Well, not really. It helped us out, to be honest, because today was the day, but we was able to watch wrestling on a Saturday night, and it was, to be honest, this felt like Saturday night wrestling, right? You know what I mean? Like they gave us a pretty decent and consistent thread of what the show was, advanced some storylines and things like that. But I ultimately think that today was a filler episode. You feel me? They
yeah,
gave us the YouTube buy-in, like you say, hey Tony Khan, I don't want to hear shit unless you cross promote. Well, they tried to do some things in there and tried to cross promote against SmackDown on Friday night, and they performed
and
very well. You know what I mean? So
I'll say it was a smart. It was a smart move business wise for them to cross promote with SmackDown, and then on top of that, it was a smart move for SmackDown to go commercial free. So I know what they were dealing with. They made the best out of it, and they actually put probably two of the best matches of the week on their free YouTube, leading into a Rampage on Friday, um, and Minoru Suzuki versus Daniel Bryan, as well as Lee Moriarty versus Bobby Fish. And so, right, I didn't see those until today because I watched SmackDown Live. Sorry, guys, but I'm still with the Blue Brand. Um, I mean, it's no loyalty. I mean, I watch you guys too, but at the end of the day, I watch that live. That's just what I just got my attention. It was an interesting week because there was a lot of shit talking. Because of that cross promotion and cross. And you're right. I call out the fact that until they're taking market share from AEW, I mean from WWE, they're not really competition. And to some degree, the tribal chief spoke this week and he had some words to say on that too. So, when it comes down to it, it's no secret, and it's okay because they're doing the best with what they got, and I think that Dynamite this week was good. And I think the buy-in to Rampage was good. Rampage itself was all right.
Rampage, honestly, coming off that buy-in wasn't really necessarily something that I was excited to see, especially when we talk about the fucking America's Top Team shit with versus Inner Circle and shit like that. Like that wasn't really something that I was excited to see, especially coming off of what we just talked about, right? Lee Moriarty and Bobby Fish was a technical fucking masterpiece,
It was
right?
great, man. One of my bangers of the week, honestly. I think that we got to give a huge shout out to Leo Moriarty for getting signed. It's official now. He's assigned to AEW. Actually, apparently, Daniel Garcia is not signed completely yet, but so Lee got his contract before Daniel Garcia did. But we've been talking about representation and them getting some black representation in stars. Lee is perfect, and not just Lee. Leo Rush is there now too. So I think that they're listening to whatever degree that they can get the people that they believe is worth it. They got a young talent in Lee Moriarty.
That was actually what you said too. You was like, what's worth it? You know what I mean? Like, who's a
Mhm.
star? that you necessarily seem as that can be worth their time or worth the exposure or the grandiose
Uh-huh.
presentation, right?
Uh-huh.
Lee deserves that. Lee
Yeah,
deserves
yeah.
and Leo deserves that. Now speaking of Rampage, they combated the commercial free stuff, Mask versus CM Punk. I labored through that. I wasn't really necessarily um, a fan of that match. I wasn't necessarily um, excited to watch it, but I appreciate it. I mean, those guys are going right. Like I've seen Evan Bourne versus CM Punk before. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't necessarily something that CM Punk came back to do. You know what I mean? Like his guys just put the young guys over, right? I don't think Matt Sydal falls into that category. So,
Yeah, it was a one-off match on a Rampage. There's no angle to it, so I didn't expect much from it, and we didn't get much from it. I think that it was a decent match, but in the way that talking about all the matches we've seen this week, yeah, it doesn't like stick out. So yeah, I hear you on that.
um, just all encompassing of AEW, I do like the direction of the company, right? The women's division right now, like Kiera Hogan and Penelope Ford, or as Booker T likes to call her,
Penelope. Penelope. Yo, man. I mean, I'm willing to watch Kiera Hogan and Penelope Ford link up anytime. They did a great. I think they did a great job, and maybe
they
I'm being a little bit biased because
no, they
they did.
worked a really good match, and um, I do also like the fact that we got it looks like we're gonna have Anna. That was Anna J, right? Anna J
Yeah, NJ.
with Britt Baker.
Yep.
So that looks like that's gonna be the next, the
Challenger.
next
Yeah.
stepping stone, on the next notch in the belt for Britt Baker.
You
Um,
know, you know what's going on with the well, we got to talk about the TBS championship first, real quick, before we leave the woman. The TBS championship, I think, is a perfect it's a perfect championship to showcase more of these women. They low key have a really stacked roster if you think about it. I watched a couple of matches on Dark Elevation. Tainara Conti, she got skills, man. Uh, you got Kiara Hogan. We just saw her. She got skills. Penelope Ford, she got skills. You got, Nyla Rose. We talk about Jay Cargill every week. You just got Ruby Soho. That TBS championship is gonna be a workers championship for the women, and I love it. And I can't wait to see who gets it. But here's the catch. I heard through the grapevine, I might be wrong. I could be wrong, but I heard through the grapevine that it's not gonna have that they're not doing a tournament until January for this title. So they just debuted it now, but they're not doing the actual tournament until January.
if that's the case, that's more than likely possible because they're not going to TBS until January.
That makes sense. All right, cool. All
So
right.
Dynamite is leaving TNT. So essentially, we're gonna have a TNT championship that I'm assuming is only gonna be defended on Rampage, which is still gonna be on Friday night. But I don't know if Rampage is moving to TBS as well. So that's something else that's gonna have to be observed during the time that they getting shit together. Because I feel you on the women's division, it is stacked, and they do need to have one bone to go after, more than one bone to go after. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like it. I think Thunder Rosa is great. She'll be a great person to hold that title. I know Jade, we've been talking about her. I would rather have her go after the main title personally. She seems like a huge star, but TBS Championship, if you want to give it to Thunder Rosa, so because she's worker or Ruby Soho, I'm with it. And have them, just have good matches every week. I love it. Other than that, yeah,
Uh, as far as kind of wrapping up with AEW as well, we talked about um, Adam Page being a
Yeah.
big dog draw. Those mic skills, baby.
Hey, I gotta say that was his best promo yet. And maybe it wasn't something that you were feeling. You're not really a promo guy, anyways. But that promo, he's getting over his catchphrase. He talked about his history from being AEW first person to say that I'm going to be the first AEW champion. He told a story. So that's what I appreciate in that promo. He got a little catchphrase over. And I got from
But
usually
that
I
phrase, that go ahead. But that phrase was already over.
then that's what I'm saying. He got it over in the promo. I'm saying like he got his catchphrase over in the promo. He went out there, told his story, and when it comes to like Hangman Page, this is his first time back after that casino, ladder match, and first time he's speaking. So especially after he's speaking, first time back from delivering or having a baby. Yeah, let him go out there, tell his story, and get his catchphrase over. I can't knock it, man. We all know that he's next in line. We all know that we got to get this guy some mic time because if he's going to be champions one day, he needs to be able to go out there and get the crowd rallying, get the crowd going. And he did that. He accomplished that. Now, do I think it was the best promo I've ever seen? Was it like Dusty Rhodes? No, absolutely not. Was it CM Punk? No. But it's the best one I've seen him do, and I'm going to give him credit where credit is due because I typically tend to shit on him because I thought he wasn't ready yet, and he wasn't. I was right. And now he's getting there to the point where he might be ready to have that AEW championship.
I hear you on getting your catchphrase over. And when he initially said it the first, I don't know, 5 times in the promo, I can't understand it. And then when the crowd chanted it the 3 times and he sat there and basked in it, I can understand it. But then he then initially went back and finished the promo off by saying it another 6 times.
He's like, I'm gonna nail this one home. I'm gonna
Right.
make sure y'all.
Make sure niggas know that I know what cowboy shit is, my nigga. Ultimately, I appreciate the promo and the story that he was telling. I just didn't think that the necessity of cowboy shit fit after every sentence. You know what I mean? Like to me, again, like him identifying what he felt his insecurities as a performer, as a man, all that shit I can appreciate and understand. You know what I mean? But he also was the nigga that is going after the top title, and you can't have those insecurities going up against the best in the world. You know what I mean? So like, I would have wanted him to say like, "I'm back, I'm ready, and Kenny, I'm coming for you," because that is the actual story. You know what I mean? Like that is the actual story, right? Kenny separated himself from Adam because he did not want to be a tag, right? If we go back to that, right, they were one of those budding, crashing fucking tag teams. So like Adam's supposed to be like, you initially crushed me, right? We were the first, like my first championship was with you, and you didn't appreciate that with me. Sit me down the downward spiral. Now I'm here to rise like a phoenix and get after your ass. That would have been something I would have prepared myself to say if I was the big dog in waiting. You know what I mean? Because essentially, when you take that mantle, you like like they say, when you take a shot at the king, you better not miss, my nigga. And like you sound like you about to take the best shot possible, and you might hit him. Like nah, nigga, you can't go after Kenny
Listen,
like that, nigga.
not everybody can be Carmelo Hayes now, But I'll say this, Hangman's going, he's gonna get his, and now it wasn't like, oh my god, the best promo I ever heard. Like, nah, it wasn't. It was a promo, and it wasn't bad. It was the best one he's done so far, and we'll see what he can do going forward. And I hear what you're saying. To me, it was a good promo. It was a good promo. So Cowboy shit's getting over it. He's been gone for some time off TV. He hasn't had a mic in a while. Let him go there and get his shit over. And I think that now we will see him in a couple of weeks at Full Gear. I think it's in November. Him and Kenny Omega battle for the AEW Championship. We still haven't seen Daniel Bryan get his rematch, but I guess we're not gonna get that anytime soon. I guess we're just gonna
I mean,
throw Dan Bryan into a.
they didn't wrestle for the title though.
Oh, they didn't
That
wrestle for the title.
that was the shits for giggles, shits and giggles match that went 30 minutes.
Wow, I thought that was for the title all this time, man. Shit. But yeah, I mean, I want to see them, have a great match. That's what I'm waiting for. If they can have a great match, then hey, it's all going to pay off. I think Hangman's return has meant something. Nonetheless, I think you were talking about him being a big dog draw, all excited because came back from the ladder match, and won that ladder match, and I hear you. He is a draw. And I think that he had to turn into that. He had to become that, and now we're getting to see him actually live that out as what he was supposed to be when AEW started. But I knew it then. Like I could sense he's not ready. Now he's getting there, and I think that what he's gone through over the past 2 years is the reason why.
How much more ready is he now, considering what he said in that promo, than he was back then, knowing that he was the first round draft pick? Because to me, ultimately, that confidence matters much. Considering, like we said, we're talking about character development, right? Like, he's more sure of himself that he doesn't mind failing, which is admirable. You know what I mean? But is that championship quality?
Well, what makes him interesting is the struggle.
It's quality, but like everybody has that right now. If they're a babyface in AEW, they're presenting everybody that way.
Yeah, what he has right now is the struggle. That's what makes him interesting to me, at least, is what he's gone through since the struggles that he went through. He outlined it all in that promo about how, he lost his confidence, how he lost his way, and everything changed when they're going to change the business. But what changed was them. I thought it all came together pretty succinctly, I guess. At the end of the day, we'll see. We'll see if they think the same thing about him. You know, um, but at the end of the day, you've been talking about him being a big dog draw. You want to see him come to NXT before they started this AEW stuff, and I know that you thought that he was a big dog draw, but now he's in the AEW. He got a mic in his hand, and he's going after the big championship. So hey, we can't be mad. Like, we can't like. I know where he's gonna be all right. But it's gonna take some, time after he came back from, having the baby and everything for us to feel like he's that guy, I guess. But this wasn't a bad start. He had a great
No,
match in the ladder match.
no, it wasn't necessarily a bad start. I would say that, like I say,
Found some dust.
yeah.
Yeah.
What I would say is that I did, I can't be making the same mistake that I did with Big E. You know what I mean? Because we ultimately, in some sort of fashion, said that Big E had to present himself in a way that wasn't necessarily, um, we thought, beneficial. But at the end of the day, like you said, our individual our individual perception or perceiving of things isn't necessarily the grand scope because Adam's over,
Mhm.
Biggie's over. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
and I think right now those are really two good cornerstones to have.
Honestly, honestly, Biggie, Hangman Adam Page, they earned it. I will put it that way. With those two guys. Um, Before we move on from AEW, I know we mentioned Lee Moriarty on by the buy-in. Minoru Suzuki versus Daniel Bryan, probably my best match of the week, one of the best matches of the week. And Minoru Suzuki is 54 years old, my guy. Like 54 years old, still doing this. And I just gotta say, man, if they wanted to, if they wanted to, they could book him as a champion. I do think that he has that kind of aura about him that he could be booked as a champion. I don't think that it would be beyond the AEW. to do that. And I would think that it would actually elevate their title and prestige if they gave the title to Minoru Suzuki. That's just my own personal opinion. One day, I'm not saying right now. I mean, maybe if I'm not saying he's staying in how long he's staying in the States, but if he's here for like a year, I wouldn't mind putting that title on him.
That falls under individual perceptions and perceiving.
Even for a month, you think that even for a month, Homeboy couldn't just like have some good matches as AEW champion, and how that having a legend hold that title doesn't add prestige to that title at 54 years old, and he can still go? Like, come on.
I'm okay. I believe my sensibilities of what we're speaking of differ for the simple fact that this is my first time like really analyzing or paying attention to or knowing that much of a Minoru Suzuki, right? So I will not downplay my ignorance because I'm on the pod. You know what I mean? Like, nah, like I don't know this nigga. You know what I'm saying? But like,
was the match good? Did you watch the match?
The match, no, I'm not downplaying that at all. I'm not, no, like knowing, like getting to know who this guy is, right? He's a Jap. It's almost like the Great Baba, you know what I mean, or fucking and Antonio Inoki. To know who they are is to actually be entrenched and know who they are. You know what I mean? I don't believe Minoru Suzuki transcended into America like previous from Japan, but I will say that his aura has captivated a subset of wrestling fans that I identify with as purist per se.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you too. I'm not even super into who he is either. I'm not. I've just watched him since he's been in AEW with Jon Moxley. I've seen him go with Lance Archer. I've seen him, with this match with Daniel Bryan, and I'm like, the manner in which he brings his strong style match to AEW, whether they're going back and forth, shot for shot, blow for blow, give me your best shot, like that vibe I like as a main event match. I just kind of feel like it's a main event style match when he's in the ring. So that's my opinion, but it's a solo opinion.
It is. I mean, listen, him and Daniel Bryan main evented. It was a dream match, so to speak, because we didn't think it could happen.
Yeah, I appreciated it, man. I did. I didn't know I wanted it. Put it that way.
How many? And that's my thing. How many more times can we send Minoru Suzuki out there and say, "Give me a dream"? Because again,
three times.
I don't sleep that much, nigga. I'm not wasting my dreams on no shit, nigga.
Oh man. I mean, I just am giving the guy prep. Really, what I wanted to do is give him his flowers for being so a guy who's of his age and being able to give that kind of performance at his age. Like, I don't want to see Sting with the championship. I don't. But I wouldn't, think that's out of the realm of possibility with Minoru Suzuki, put it that way. Not that he should get the title right now. Not that he should get it with even in a year. I think that.
Like, yes, I can. Is he a legitimate championship contender? Yes. Is he a legitimate championship title holder? Like you say, to me, I think we can reasonably debate on that.
I have an angle in my head that will make him feel like he is if he brought some homies from New Japan in. But hey, I'm gonna leave that for another day. We'll move on.
I think following up with that, we must say the use of Minoru Suzuki for AEW has been great as a bridge builder.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything that we thought would have and should have happened already with New Japan, right? the utilization of Minoru Suzuki, the respect that Suzuki has been receiving, and the admiration and the translation, right, between Japanese wrestling and American fans, which a lot of people misconceptualize, right? There's a lot of American niggas, you know what I mean, that fuck with the Japanese shit, whether it's from the food,
True.
the bitches, the anime, to the wrestling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think this was a great tester. You know what I mean? Oh, speaking of that, and this is an awkward transition, but I was just saying how utilization of other talents in other companies. AJ Styles is almost 60 matches away for having as many matches in WWE as he had in TNA.
Wow, 60?
Still, I think it's like 60, 63, 64, some shit like that. Like,
All
yeah.
right. Well, he still hasn't gone. That's quite a lot of matches. That's really, now you think back. That could take him like 2 years. I mean, if you count live events, then it would be faster. But
But still, like, just put this in percent. This nigga came and niggas thought and doubted that he wouldn't be utilized well, and he's
yeah.
had a same career, 5 years.
Oh, yo, we've been talking about AJ on the pod for a minute. He's a main event. He's a main,
He's
well,
a
like,
my nigga.
yeah, he's a main star because he's in WWE. If he stayed in New Japan and TNA and ROH, he probably would have ended up in AEW, but he wouldn't be what he is right now. He wouldn't be what he is right now. And I think that, like, he still would be probably the top dog in AEW though. I think even without going to WWE.
Well, I mean, when you talk about people is like, oh, he's 54, like AJ's what, like 46, 47? You know
He's
what
up
I mean?
there.
Like, and he is legit. Like, Kenny Omega's not the best wrestler in the in not even the world. He's not the best wrestler in the company if AJ Styles is there. You know what I mean? Like,
He's not the best wrestler in the company right now, in my opinion. But I mean, everybody has their guys. It's subjective,
so I mean, I feel like that AJ Styles, with what he has been given as well, because people always say that WWE stifles creative, and they give you lemons to force you to make lemonade. Shit, that nigga AJ Styles stand is cashing, nigga. Like, that
Yeah.
lemonade stand is booming, my
I
nigga.
need AJ back in the main event, though. I'm gonna be honest right now. I'm tired of seeing him and Omos together.